Heart of the Rockies Radio, and we are here for the third annual National Civics Bee in Buena Vista, hosted by the Buena Vista Chamber of Commerce and presented by the League of Women Voters of Chaffee County. These students are here as competitors after submitting an original essay on how they would solve an issue in the community. Today's event will have 2 rounds of quiz-based civics questions, guest remarks, presentations on essays from 8 non-finalists, and the final round with the top 5 students presenting their essays. There you go, thank you. The audience is also encouraged to play along. You're going to see a QR code right here. You can scan that QR code and play along. Just join as a spectator. We invite all participants as well and attendees to stay till the end to attend an ice cream social. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Ice cream social at Swift River Ice Cream immediately following today's event. We encourage you to continue conversations with these students about their essays and about how to implement their ideas. Right now, we're going to meet our 13 finalists, and I'll give you their essay topics. Please come up and find your seat as I call your name. First, we have Zach Leon. Zach's essay was water conservation, xeriscape, and gray water. Up next, Caleb Moen. Caleb, housing ownership, cap, and affordability. Emily Gertson. Emily's essay, Helping Kids, Safety, and Substance Abuse. Emma Allen. Emma's essay is Affordable and Safe Childcare and Shared Space. Emma Kate Calloway. Emma Kate's essay, River Safety Education Campaign. Jordan DeWalt. Jordan's essay is on helping teens join the local workforce. Kate Munshoff. Her essay is on parking lot safety. Dakota Depew. Health and legal consequences of drugs. Jesse Arnold. Jesse's essay, Kid-Friendly Indoor Activities, Bowling Arcade, and Job Creation. Benjamin Drexler. Benjamin's essay was on human-wildlife interactions, safety, and deer. Adeline Miller. Livestock, 4-H, and wolves in Colorado. Caroline Brown. Job skills and community for prisoner population. Carly Shepard rounds out our contestants. Carly's essay was on smoking and vaping issues. Right now, I would like to introduce our panel of judges. First up, we have Wendy Hall. Wendy is a member of the League of Women Voters and a board member for Chaffee County Community Foundation. She loves to be involved in the community. Wendy. Hannah Harn. Hannah is the editor of the Chaffee County Times and former child care professional and advocate for civic education and involvement. This is her 2nd year as a judge for the Civics Bee. Thank you for being here, Hannah. Cecilia LaFrance is the director of the Buena Vista Public Library, an institution upholding First Amendment rights for all and promoting civic engagement locally. This is her 2nd year as well as serving as judge for the Buena Vista Civics Bee. Thank you. Andrew Rice. Andrew is a trustee for the town of Buena Vista, has been since 2023. Andrew. And Adelie Guerra. Adelie is the business strategy representative for the Colorado Workforce Center in Salida and serves all of Chaffee County. Thank you all for your commitment to civic education and as a Civics Bee judge. Liz Morgan, Executive Director of the Buena Vista Chamber of Commerce, is very sorry not to be able to be with us today. Lauren Stellman will be here to support today's event. Laura's right back here in the back. Hi, Lauren. She is the National Civics Bee Colorado State Program Director at the Colorado Chamber of Commerce. For 2 years, she served as the National Civics Bee Project Manager and local partner for the Craig Chamber of Commerce, including during Colorado's pilot program. Her mission-driven work has been spent with chambers of commerce and Colorado nonprofits that focus on educating and activating citizens to engage with America's founding principles. Thank you, Lauren, for coming out. You'd think I did this for a living, right? That I would know how to turn it on. I'm sorry, is there someone, where's our audio visual person? Right here. I see no button of any type. Smarty pants. Here you go, Lauren.
Thank you so much, Dan, for serving as our MC and for your lovely introduction. So hello, everyone. It is an absolute pleasure to be here in Buena Vista for your 3rd annual National Civics Bee. All spring, I have been traveling across our state, seeing our local Civics Bee competitions, so I'm very excited to see our students here and to support this amazing program in your community. The National Civics Bee is an initiative created and co-sponsored by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation with generous funding by the Daniels Fund here in Colorado. Thank you to these partners and the Colorado Chamber Foundation for bringing this vision to life, a vision of a national competition that celebrates civic knowledge in communities across the country, just like here. Colorado this year is one of 40 states hosting the Civics Bee, and later in the spring, we will have the top 3 winners from each of our 6 local partners, including Buena Vista, compete for the state title, and that will be on May 30th, and that's my job to host. So at the Colorado Chamber and across all partners in the National Civics Bee, we believe that informed and active citizens make for a strong country, a strong economy, and a strong workforce, and that our continued prosperity depends on the strength of all 3. The National Civics Bee is a way to promote greater civic knowledge and civic participation across the country, and to energize our communities with a celebration of civic pride. Thank you to this year's sponsors, whose generosity truly helps this mission to inject civic education and engagement to the Buena Vista community. So thank you to the town of Buena Vista, Swift River, Buena Vista School District, Climax Molybdenum, who is also a fantastic partner to the Colorado Chamber, Heart of the Rockies Radio, High Country Bank, Arc Valley Voice, Optimist International, the American Legion Post 55, the Trailhead, and Bristle Cone Bake Shop. Thank you to the many community members here who have supported this program as well through the Buena Vista Chamber's Colorado Gives Day campaign back in the winter. And thank you to all of the fantastic volunteers for your efforts to make today successful. Thank you to the teachers and educational partners at Buena Vista Middle School and Darren Patterson Christian Academy for encouraging your students to participate in this year's program. And most importantly, thank you to the parents and the family members for supporting your student. Your engagement and encouragement makes their participation possible today. So as I embark on my 3rd year in the National Civics Bee program, I'm continually inspired by the lessons learned and the civic virtues upheld through this initiative. One of the enduring principles that my work has emphasized is that self-governing citizens must possess civic knowledge. This knowledge isn't merely about understanding governmental structures, but it is about grasping the foundational ideals that underpin our republic. These include the origin of our rights, the scope of our individual responsibilities, the limited purposes of our government, and the constitutional powers that define it. As we approach America's 250th birthday next year, it's a perfect moment to reflect on the radical brilliance of the Declaration of Independence and the ideals expressed throughout it. Crafted with eloquence and conviction, its opening lines, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal," illuminate the call to liberty. Generations later, their words continue to inspire, reminding us of the profound principles that define our constitutional republic and the great American experiment. The signers of the Declaration close that document with a solemn vow. We mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. It was a commitment to everything they had to the precious cause of liberty. Their example reminds us that citizenship requires both knowledge and courage. In today's world, where civic knowledge is more crucial than ever, initiatives like the National Civics Bee play a vital role in preparing the next generation of informed and engaged citizens that I'm very happy to see before me. Thank you all for being here and for supporting the cultivation of civic knowledge and virtues in our state and our nation.
Now it is my pleasure to bring up last year's winner, Joseph Drexler. He was the 2024 Colorado Civics Bee State Champion, representing Colorado at the inaugural National Civics Bee National Finals in November of last year in Washington, D.C. He was a two-time Buena Vista Civics Bee local winner and Colorado State finalist. Joseph is a ninth grader at Buena Vista High School.
Great. All right. Y'all excited to be here? Some of you look scared. I'm going to tell you guys a little story. The first year I did this thing, the only reason I did it is because you got a free tablet. I was pretty psyched about that free tablet. However, after doing it, and I realized that this is more than just free tablets, however cool that was. You have a chance to express yourself to this community. Every one of you has a topic that either you think is important or something else with that topic that you care about. And you right now have a chance to give it to a room full of people, and that can make a difference in this community. You can help with the deer. You can make water better. All sorts of things that you can do just by giving a speech. And that feels good. You're going to have your voice heard, every single one of you. And you have your chance to have that voice heard because of the fact that you did this thing. So that's pretty cool, guys, right? It's pretty cool. And you also have the chance to learn about our government. Our government's pretty awesome. I mean, it's confusing. There's a lot of things to learn. 27 amendments, y'all. That's a lot. But you're going to have the opportunity to go in later life and be the only person in the room to know the First Amendment. That has happened to me more times than I would think. People have asked me what the First Amendment is. Yeah. So when I went out of state and when I went under the national government, and when I did that was a blur, guys. Crazy. Lots of stuff happening, lots of speeches. But it actually made a difference in our community. When I came back, when I came back from these things, I was invited to an event where we gave free books to students throughout the community. That was pretty cool. And every single one of you has the chance and opportunity to see something like that happen. So, yeah, it's pretty cool, guys. That's all I have to say.
Very good. Thank you, Lauren, and thank you, Joseph. It was a real pleasure last year to watch online the national competition and watching. I was yelling in the studio, "Go, go, go!" Before we get started, I have been asked to remind students that your personal devices, your cell phones, etc., are not allowed on stage. If you haven't handed yours over already, please raise your hand and we'll come up and get it. I believe most of you took care of your cell phones, correct? Fantastic. Today's competition will include 3 rounds. In the first 2 rounds, finalists will answer civics-based quiz questions. Each finalist will answer the same multiple choice questions within the allotted time. Each question and answer option will be read aloud. The 30-second timer will not start until after I have finished reading the question and answer options. Each correct answer will receive 1 point. Incorrect answers and answers not submitted before time's out receive 0 points. So since you will not lose points for an incorrect answer, we encourage you to take your best guess and answer each question. Please note, once you have selected an answer to the question, that answer is final. You may not return to the answer options to change your response, okay? At the ends of rounds 1 and 2, we'll display the leaderboard on the screen. You will be able to see which students are in the lead. The 5 finalists with the highest scores at the end of round 2 will advance to round 3. That is where they will deliver a 3-minute pitch of the idea they wrote about in their essay. The live panel of judges here, they're all live, all live. Panel of judges will then ask questions based on their pitch and their original essay. If there is a tie for 5th place at the end of round 2, I will announce a tiebreaker round 3 set of questions. Only the students who are tied for 5th place will answer these questions. If you are not tied for 5th, you will not answer the tiebreaker questions. At the end of the tiebreaker, I will announce the finalist who will advance to round 3. Students, during the quiz rounds, if you have technical issues or if anything goes wrong at any time, please raise your hand right away so we can help you, okay? Do it just like that. We know everyone here will participate with integrity. Students, please keep your eyes on your own devices. All right, is everyone ready to get started? Everyone's ready? Very good. Then let's get underway. Question 1, round 1. John Brown is best known for his raid on which location in 1859? A, Harper's Ferry, B, Fort Sumter, C, the Alamo, we're having someone not being allowed to join down here. Same right here with Caleb. Well, I was full steam ahead, though, wasn't I? I was ready to go. A, B, C. Oh, has anyone in the audience, has anyone joined to play along? Did you join as spectator? No one joined as player. Be sure that may be the problem. We've taken up all the player slots in the audience. What do we got here? Getting logged in? Right. Yeah, I won't let these people join. So this is my started and reboot thing. But just be sure that you're under spectator, okay? Mr. Dennis, how are you? Doing very well, doing very well. Fantastic. Audience ready to go. Big round of applause for our tech team. Way to go. All right. Round 1, question 1. John Brown is best known for his raid on which location in 1859? A, Harper's Ferry, B, Fort Sumter, C, the Alamo, D, the White House. You have 30 seconds. need to count them down though and see the timer. Right? Yeah, I need to see the timer. All right, time is up. And the answer is A, Harper's Ferry. A, Harper's Ferry. Question number 2. Which form of government is headed by a king or queen who inherits the position and rules for life? Is it A, monarchy, B, socialism, C, democracy, D, theocracy? 30 seconds. And time is up. Very good. The answer is A, monarchy. Question number 3. Article 6 of the Constitution prohibits what from being used as a qualification for office? Is it A, age limit, B, religious test, C, property ownership, or D, literacy test? 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. 10. In 5. And time is up. The answer is B, religious tests. Question number 4. What is the term for dividing voting districts to give an advantage to one party? Is it A, electoring, B, gerrymandering, C, suffrage, D, vetoing? 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. In 10. 3, 2, and 1. Time is up. The answer is B, gerrymandering. Question number 5. Which of the following amendments contains a due process clause? Is it A, 6th, B, 8th, C, 14th, or D, 22nd? 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. In 10. 3, 2, 1. Time is up. The answer is C, 14th. Question number 6. Evaluate the impact of common sense in 1776. Was it A, it influenced the founders to ask for more compromises with the king? B, it influenced colonists to realize they need to stay part of Great Britain? C, it influenced colonists to realize the need to form a new nation? Or D, it influenced the king to realize the need to allow the colonists more freedom? 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. 10. 3, 2, and 1. Time is up. The answer is C. It influenced colonists to realize the need to form a new nation. Question number 7. Which of the following is the best definition of the civic virtue of courage? Is it A, to recognize that one's ignorance is greater than one's knowledge? B, to stand firm and do what is right when it is unpopular or risky? C, to always agree with others' points of view? Or D, to regard and defend the equal rights and dignity of all citizens? 30 seconds. $15. Three, two, one. Time is up. The answer is B, to stand firm and do what is right when it is unpopular or risky. Question number 8. Which environmental leader outscored all other applicants on the civil service exam and was hired by the U.S. Bureau of Fisheries to write brochures and other materials for the public? Was it A, Alice Paul, B, Elizabeth Eckford, C, Rachel Carson, or D, Betty Friedan? 30 seconds. $15. And 3, 2, 1. Time is up. The answer is C, Rachel Carson. Rachel Carson. Question number 9. In the context of Article 5, which of the following situations would likely trigger the need for an amendment to the Constitution? A, a Supreme Court ruling that a federal law is unconstitutional. B, a state passing a law that conflicts with federal law. C, a new treaty being signed between the U.S. and another country. Or D, a proposal to change the method of electing the president. 30 seconds. $15. Three, 2, and 1. Time is up. The answer, D, a proposal to change the method of electing the president. And question 10, last question of round 1. Which of the following is not a constitutional requirement for a U.S. presidential candidate? Is it A, must be at least 35 years old? B, must have been a U.S. resident for at least 14 years? C, must have been born in the U.S. D, must have served at least one term as a U.S. senator or governor? 30 seconds. $15. Three, 2, and 1. Time is up. The correct answer is D. Must have served at least one term as a U.S. senator or governor. That is not a constitutional requirement. Hey, congratulations, students. That's the end of round 1. Congratulations. Give these guys a round of applause. Oh man, we got all the kinks worked out. All the bugs are gone. We are off and running. And we have a little bit of a question here for you, a little bit in between rounds. How do you plan to celebrate America's 250th birthday on July 4th? Any plans, huh? You got to attend events maybe, learn more about history, discuss with the family, no plans. I was asking earlier, 250, is there a term for that? Is there a word for that? 100th, the 150th is the sesquicentennial, huh? Huh? Surely there's a weird name for 250, I don't know. That's why we're coming up here on July 4th, be thinking about that. Right now it is my pleasure to introduce this lady, the Honorable Libby Fay, the Mayor of Buena Vista. She served as a judge for the 2024 Buena Vista Civics Bee, and it's always a joy. Mayor Fay. Oh. The experts taught me how to do this. There you go.
Thank you, Dan. Well, greetings to all you participants in the Civics Bee. I'm the mayor of Buena Vista, and I'd like to thank each of you participants, as well as all the mentors and teachers and judges, the Chamber volunteers, and the League of Women Voters volunteers for your leadership and guidance now and in other callings. We should all be very proud of everybody in this room. As mayor, I get to facilitate conversations among the 6 trustees so that we can work to make good decisions for the town. We often need help in making these decisions, and we get information from people giving us their ideas through public comment, letters to the editors, meetings with our staff, and our long-range plans. I have invited some prior Civics Bee essayists to speak to us at public comment on topics which we particularly need the insights of younger people, such as some that you've mentioned here today, vaping and smoking, learning about civics and pedestrian safety in town. In helping us with pedestrian safety, the students prepared models, observed driver and pedestrian behavior, kept records, identified problems, and made specific suggestions for improvements. The trustees and staff considered these ideas. We evaluated the costs, and we will implement many of the suggestions. Watch for safety improvements, including more obvious signage, brighter crosswalk paint, a movable speed bump at River Park, parking, and other safety features. And that's thanks to students just like yourselves. The point here is that you students and parents can help us be aware of important issues. It's okay and important to let us know. We all need to strengthen our democracy through participation and being informed. For the students, you can join the student government, seek leadership roles in youth groups and scout troops, learn civics, vote every time you're given the opportunity, and let people know what you think. Thanks for your time in writing your essays and studying our history and laws.
Very good. Mayor Libby Fay. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. All right, we are about ready to go on to round 2. We were just showing the leaderboard there. We go back to the, there we go. After round 1, look how tight this is. Goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, they're all right there together. And remember, we have a tiebreaker coming up if we have a tie for 5th place to get to the top 5. Boy, it's pretty tight right now, but we are going into round 2. Let's see if we can get some division among our contestants here. Let's start out with round 2, question 11. Here you go. Which of these is an example of an implied power? Which of these is an example of an implied power? A, coining money. B, establishing a national bank. C, declaring war, or D, regulating tariffs? 30 seconds. Coining money, A. B, establishing a national bank. C, declaring war. And D, regulating tariffs. 15 seconds. Three, two, one. Time is up. The answer, which is an example of an implied power, B, establishing a national bank. Question 12. What is one of the main reasons the framers of the U.S. Constitution created a system of federalism? What is one of the main reasons the framers of the U.S. Constitution created a system of federalism? A, to provide a uniform system of laws that could be easily enforced nationwide. B, to simplify the governance structure by eliminating state governments. C, to allow states to maintain significant autonomy while still being part of a larger union. Or D, to ensure that all power was concentrated in the federal government. 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. Three, two, one. Time is up. The answer is C, to allow states to maintain significant autonomy while still being part of a larger union. Question number 13. Which of the following is an accurate statement relating to presidential impeachment? A, indicted by the House of Representatives. B, excluded from further service in any government office. C, removed from office by the House of Representatives. Or D, charges of impeachment are started in the Supreme Court. 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. Three, two, one. Time is up. The answer is A, indicted by the House of Representatives. Question number 14. Which of the following statements best demonstrates how the No Child Left Behind Act exemplifies federalism in the United States? A, states are given the flexibility to develop their own educational standards and assessments while receiving federal funding and oversight. B, No Child Left Behind mandates that all states follow a single national curriculum without any state input. C, the federal government directly controls all local school districts and their operations. Or D, local governments have complete autonomy in deciding educational policies without any federal guidelines. 30 seconds. $15. Three, two, and one. Time is up. The answer is A. States are given the flexibility to develop their own educational standards and assessments while receiving federal funding and oversight. Excuse me. Question number 15. Through the presidential and congressional agendas, although the presidential and congressional agendas may not always align, which of the following actions could a president take to persuade Congress in favor of the presidential agenda? A, the president can issue signing statements to nullify laws passed by Congress. B, the president can pocket veto any laws passed by Congress if he does not agree with them. C, the president can utilize social media to increase public pressure on Congress to follow their agenda. And D, the president can call for impeachment of recalcitrant members of Congress. 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. Three, two, one. Time is up. The answer is C. The president can utilize social media to increase public pressure on Congress to follow their agenda. Question number 16. In the Gettysburg Address, which of the following documents is Lincoln referring to in his introduction? Is it A, the Emancipation Proclamation, B, the preamble to the Constitution, C, the Declaration of Independence, or D, the Articles of Confederation? 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Time is up. The answer is C, the Declaration of Independence. Question number 17. In Lincoln's view, how does mob violence threaten democratic institutions as described in his address to the Young Men's Lyceum of Illinois? A, it fosters inequality by disproportionately harming vulnerable communities. B, it undermines public trust in legal and political systems, paving the way for tyranny. C, it leads to economic instability by disrupting commerce and local governance. Or D, it strengthens state power at the expense of federal authority, destabilizing the Union. 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. And 3, 2, and 1. Time is up. The answer is B. It undermines public trust in legal and political systems, paving the way for tyranny. Question number 18. How does equal protection of the law influence judicial decisions in cases of discrimination? Is it A, it requires judges to consider public opinion when making rulings on cases of discrimination? B, it compels courts to assess whether laws or government actions discriminate against specific groups and to apply strict scrutiny in those cases. C, it allows courts to uphold any law that has been passed by a majority regardless of its impact on minority groups. Or D, it ensures a majority of citizens agree on what constitutes discrimination before any legal action can be taken. 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. And 3, 2, and 1. Your time is up. How does equal protection of the law influence judicial decisions in cases of discrimination? The answer is B. It compels courts to assess whether laws or government actions discriminate against specific groups and to apply strict scrutiny in those cases. Question number 19. Which of the following actions would most likely lead to a constitutional crisis regarding the separation of powers? Is it A, Congress passing a law to limit the president's ability to issue pardons? B, the president issuing a statement that questions the constitutionality of a law passed by Congress? C, the Senate delaying the confirmation of a judicial nominee in order to gather more information? Or D, the Supreme Court ruling on the constitutionality of a law passed by Congress? 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. And 3, 2, and 1. Your time is up. The correct answer is A, Congress passing a law to limit the president's ability to issue pardons. Question 20. The First Continental Congress noted, in the course of our inquiry, we find many infringements and violations of the foregoing rights. How did this infringement impact the future decisions of the founders? A, the founders decided to forego having another Continental Congress, instead believing Great Britain would, in time, resolve the infringements. B, the founders decide to create the Declaration of Independence 2 years later due to these infringements continuing. C, the founders decided to send diplomats to work out the infringements with the king, which resulted in a long-lasting truce between the colonists and Great Britain. Or D, the infringements continued and the founders decided to resolve these issues in the Articles of Confederation while still remaining a part of the British Empire. 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. And 3, 2, and 1. Your time is up. The correct answer is B. The founders decided to create the Declaration of Independence 2 years later due to these infringements continuing. All right, that does it for round 2. How are y'all doing out here? How's everyone in the audience? You doing all right, Dennis? You're getting them all right, right? Right? The end of round 2. Now, we are going to take a look at the leaderboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We indeed have a tie for 5th place. Correct me if I can barely read this up here. I believe that is Carly and Emma Kate. Am I right there? Emma Kate and Carly. Where's Carly at? Right down here. Carly Shepard, right? And correct me back here in the back room if I am incorrect, please. And Emma Kate Calloway. I believe those are the two that are tied for 5th place. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'm double check. Everyone double check me there. I'm right. Correct. Yes. All right. The first 5. Let me do that. Let's go back to can we go back one to the round 2, there we go.
So only 2. Carly and Emma are going to do the tiebreaker.
Yes, the judges want to hear the top 5, the top 4 before we get there. Zachary, raise your hand whenever I say you're Zachary, with 13 correct points. Benjamin with 11. Jordan with 11. Addie with 11. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to have a tiebreaker between Carly and Emma Kate. All right? Let's get ready for our tiebreaker. Here we go. I do want to remind you on the tiebreaker, time is important. Speed is important, okay? Because, let's say, girls, you get them all right. Both of you get them all right. All right, now we're going to go back and see who answered the quickest, okay? So time is important in the tiebreaker round. And here we go. Question 21 in our tiebreaker. In his Lyceum address, Lincoln emphasized the importance of reverence for the laws as essential for preserving democracy. Which modern example best illustrates the consequences Lincoln warned about if this reverence is lost? A, political leaders disregarding court rulings to advance their personal agendas, undermining judicial authority. B, a growing lack of trust in public institutions due to widespread political polarization and misinformation. C, widespread protest devolving into mob violence, destabilizing public confidence in the legal system. Or D, legislators exploiting emergency powers to bypass constitutional process, weakening checks and balances. Your time starts now. $15. Three, 2, and 1. Your time is up. Question number 22 in our tiebreaker series. What role does Paine assign to religion and his arguments against monarchy in Common Sense? A, he avoids discussing religion to focus on secular arguments. B, he uses biblical references to argue that monarchy is contrary to God's will. C, he argues that religion supports the divine rights of kings. And D, he claims religion has no place in political debates. Time begins now. Fifteen seconds. And 3, 2, and 1. Time is up. Our third and final tiebreaker question. Question number 23. Which of the following statements might give a government official use to criticize the Freedom of Information Act? Which of the following statements might a government official use to criticize the Freedom of Information Act? A, the act promotes transparency and accountability in government operations. B, the act has led to a dramatic increase in public trust, making it unnecessary for government oversight. C, the act helps government agencies improve efficiency by encouraging better record keeping and transparency. Or D, the act can lead to the misuse of sensitive information, compromising national security and public safety. Your time starts now. $15 seconds. Three, 2, 1. Your time is up. Which of the following statements might a government official use to criticize the Freedom of Information Act? The correct answer is D. The act can lead to the misuse of sensitive information, compromising national security and public safety. Now it is time to see our fifth place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I believe Carly down here, Shepherd, is that right? Carly Shepherd is in 5th place now, and I believe that was because of time. I believe that went down. I believe they had the same correct number of answers, but we used the time there. A little bit faster down here with Carly Shepherd, it looks like to me. So, Zachary, Benjamin, Jordan, Addie, and Carly are our top 5 finishers that will move on to our final round. Congratulations. Congratulations to all students on completing the first 2 rounds of today's competition. The top 5 finalists we just met. Finalists, please prepare in the green room for round 3. Finalists, please prepare to the green room for round 3. Students, congratulations again, and thank you for your participation. We will now take a 5-minute break before hearing our non-finalist students' presentations of their essays. Again, a big round for our 13 students here as we go into the break.
Hi, my name is Caleb Moyne, and I wrote my civics essay on affordable housing. Basically, that's kind of like a problem in BV. People don't have enough money to afford housing. So that was my civics essay.
Pass it down. Caroline Brown.
Hello, everyone. My name is Caroline Brown, and for my civics essay, I chose the Take Two project, which, if you don't know what that is, that's basically where prisoners are allowed to do community work near the end of their sentence. It helps them reconnect with the community, it gives them something to do, and it helps the community itself. So, yeah.
Very good.
Good evening. My name is Emily Gertson. I wrote my essay on addiction to vapes and drug abuse. Currently, there's approximately 16.7% of 12 and up students that do drugs in the U.S. Most people don't understand that vapes are drugs. Not only do they contain nicotine, which is considered poison, but also toxic chemicals and metals. A nonprofit tobacco control organization put up a survey and learned that 90% of teens felt less anxious and less depressed once they quit vaping. I feel that vapes are targeted towards children. Yeah, thank you.
Very good, very good. Next.
My name is Emma, and I did my civics essay on lack of childcare and affordable preschools, and I learned all about grants that we could use and the amount of children that they take in each year for preschools, so it was cool.
My name is Jesse Arnold, and I wrote about how we need an arcade or bowling alley in Buena Vista because the kids are always bored and there's nothing to do here besides mountain biking or snowboarding or sports or fishing. And I think that we need more money than Salida does because they have stuff to do there. So, thank you.
Hello, my name is Dakota Depew, and I wrote my civics essay on the pressing issue of students underage using drugs illegally in school. And it's more common than you might think, but it's happening right here in front of our eyes, and I just gave a couple suggestions on how we can take action and fix it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kate Munchoff, and I wrote my civics essay on my concern for the city market parking lot. And as a 13-year-old, out of my concern, when you, at the front of the city market parking lot, there's 2 motion-censored doors, and once you walk out of that second door, you immediately step onto the street. Thank you.
I'm Emma Kate Calloway, and I wrote my Civics Bee essay on tourist river safety. This problem is important to me because I surf down at the Staircase Wave a lot in the summer, and I have seen a lot of tourists without the proper safety gear. So, yeah.
Very good. The essays from our non-finalists. Now, I don't know about you all, but gives me a little hope for the future to see these young people get involved in the ideas that they have and how they can articulate such ideas to us. But let's go ahead and bring our contestants out. Carly. Come on out, Carly. Adeline, come on out. Jordan. Ben. And Zachary. Come take your seats. Here are our 5 finalists. Before we begin round 3, the remaining finalists will be given their note cards. Does everyone have their note cards in front of them? Fantastic. I will ask the finalists and the judges if everyone is ready, and then I will call the finalists one at a time to approach the microphone and deliver their 3-minute pitch on the topic and solution they wrote about in their essay. I will call you in order you placed at the end of round 3, the same order I called you to the stage today. Each finalist will share a 3-minute pitch of the topic and solution they wrote about using their essay cards. You can use your 4x6 note cards that you brought as prep. Each finalist will then receive questions from our judge panel, and the finalist will have 3 minutes to answer each question. The judges will evaluate finalists based on how well they demonstrate an understanding of civic principles and related systems, demonstrate clarity and effectiveness in delivering their summary, demonstrate clarity and effectiveness in responding to the judge's questions, use specific examples, evidence, and primary sources to support their answers, and at the end of round 3, judges will add their scores to the finalist totals from rounds 1 and 2 to calculate a cumulative score for each finalist. The finalist with the 3 highest cumulative scores will be named first, second, and third place winners. All finalists today will receive a gift bag, and the first, second, and third place winners will also receive a monetary prize and a trophy. All right? Is everyone ready? Judges, are you ready over here? Everyone's ready? Finalist, everyone ready to go? Fantastic. Let's begin here then. I will begin with Carly. Down here. That's fine. Yes, come on. You bet. Right here would be fantastic. Just step right up there. Very good.
Hi, my name is Carly Shepard. I wrote my essay on smoking and vaping in Buena Vista because it's a really important topic to me because my grandma died of lung cancer when I was about 4 years old. I believe that professional help leads to recovery for many people, and that having this help in BV would be life-changing for many. Counseling centers in BV is a chance for change for so many people. Working with both elected officials and businesses and getting those opinions from the public would be an amazing thing for this cause. One solution would be having the physical therapy center to allow counseling sessions and mental therapy sessions to help get over nicotine addictions. This issue provides, it gives people with addictions responsibility for their actions to get away from nicotine, and I really want to help these people be able to change. Nicotine advertises that smoking and vaping gets rid of anxiety and helps you relax, but as we all know, that isn't true. According to my research, professional help is the best way to stop using these products. In conclusion, tobacco products are extremely addicting, and having help for this issue would be a great thing for BV. Thank you.
And now questions from our judges. Andrew?
What is your school doing about smoking, vaping, and substance abuse, and why is it not enough?
Well, in our school, there have been some kids who have been smoking and vaping in bathrooms, but our school hasn't really enforced any policies against it. I feel like having policies in our school is super important because getting addicted on these nicotine products at such a young age can really affect this person in the future and can lead to, as I said before, lung cancer and to other illnesses.
And then how would you address people who see smoking as a personal decision or their personal right and freedom versus the people around them?
Well, while smoking and vaping is a decision that people make, many people can be influenced by peer pressure, and sometimes they just aren't thinking about what they're truly doing to their bodies by using these products.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very good.
Actually, Chaffee County does have a few layers of counseling available to talk to people about substance abuse, domestic violence, and of course it starts with school counselors. Realistically, do you think you yourself could talk to or convince another student in your school to seek professional help?
I think that truly the decision is up to them, but I think trying to be a positive influence on other students would be a great thing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much, Carly. Carly Shepard. Up next, we have Adeline Miller. Adeline.
Hello, my name is Addie Miller, and I wrote my Civics BSA on the negative impact of reintroducing wolves into Colorado, specifically the problems with livestock. It is true that wolves can help our ecosystem by controlling the population of some things, but the effect it can have on the farmers and ranchers of our community, as well as small game and even big game, can be devastating. Many people could be struggling with the thought on how to protect their land or how to protect their livestock. According to Kevin Madler from Colorado Parks and Wildlife, there are around 28 to 32 wolves, and their goal is to get to 150. 2 have been in our county this year so far, and who knows what is yet to come. Many people agree with wolf reintroduction because Colorado was once their home. However, we have to take in consideration our livestock and all that. This is a concern to me because I raise pigs for 4-H, and I wouldn't want something to happen to my animals by a wolf. Ways I think I can help this problem are by working with our representatives in creating a safer plan for our ranchers. I can also work with organizations such as the Colorado sheep industry in educating people about wolves and the potential danger to livestock.
Very good. Judges? Questions?
Thank you, Adeline. I think you would have enjoyed listening in on our call when we were discussing your essay. So the vote to approve wolf reintroduction in Colorado was approved by 50.9% of voters. What happens in communities when a small margin of voters approve something that experiences this much conflict in its implementation?
I'm not totally sure. I would have to do more research or learn more about that. But yeah, we can definitely have disagreements about things like that.
Great. And then how do your solutions to this problem include founding principles and civic virtues?
Courage is one of them. So people being courageous and stepping up to take action and spreading awareness and all that is a part of that.
how do you think eliminating wolves would disrupt the native habitat? Do you have any ideas?
Like, what do you mean, how would eliminate?
If the wolves were removed?
Yes, I don't think there would be like that. I mean, there would be a difference because not as much livestock would be killed, but we can also control population of like big game and all that with other animals like bobcats yeah.
Very good. Thank you very much, Adeline. Adeline Miller. Our next finalist, Jordan DeWalt.
Hi, my name is Jordan DeWalt, and I did my speech on the lack of an adequate workforce. This issue presents itself in Buena Vista with the appearance of hiring or help wanted signs and the change in hours in local businesses because they cannot run at their full capacity because they don't have an adequate workforce. How I plan to solve this issue is to get youth, particularly in the age of 14 to 20, more involved in the workforce. This would not only help us now, but future generations by empowering them and giving them important experience and knowledge. I would talk to the local businesses about interesting initiatives like hot springs passes that would maybe get youth more involved and excited to learn. I would also talk to them about interesting ways that they could make more flexible schedules so it could help them balance school, extracurriculars, and work so they wouldn't have to try to juggle everything and get super stressed out. I also want to talk to the local Chamber of Commerce to see what they've been doing and how I could help them in their work and what we could maybe add and maybe do less of. I also want to talk to the school board about their internship program and how we could get more students involved, more businesses involved, and how we could help them with that and what could be done and what needs being done. This issue is important because it involves us respecting our youth, no matter their age, because they're still humans, they still have the rights that we do. It involves us being humble enough to respect them and being like, yeah, they may need to learn, we need to learn. We need to help them through learning everything, learning the ropes, because it's going to be hard, but we need to invest in our youth and help them learn.
All right, thank you very much, Jordan. Now questions from our judges.
Hi, Jordan. I'm Cecilia with the library. Please do apply next year once we get back in our building. Could you tell us some of the tasks that you think youth in that age range you're proposing could or would take in various types of businesses or locally?
I've been cleaning and babysitting and things like that, or bussing tables and doing dishes. Simple tasks that restaurants need doing and that youth are happy to get paid for.
Thank you. Why don't more teenagers fill jobs locally currently?
It's probably because I would say myself, I'm like, I don't want to work. That sounds like too much work to work.
Which businesses and industries do you think need employees or teen employees the most?
I would definitely say that a lot of restaurants and commercial businesses need employees because they're being affected by the fact that there's not enough people here and there's not enough people taking jobs in the kind of lower paying industries, and they could be really impacted by boom in employees.
Thank you.
Any other questions from our judges? We have one down here from the workforce. I knew Adeline would get in on this.
Hi, Jordan. So you said that some of you guys do not want to work. How can I get you guys to work? So I'm always having some people coming into the workforce center. They're looking for jobs, but not enough of our youth. We offer training programs. How would you suggest that I can encourage our teenagers and young adults to get into work?
Well, one of the things I thought about was like incentives, like hot springs passes or things that will really appeal to youth, because sometimes like money isn't as appealing because it's like, I know, I want to go live my life and have fun. So it's like things that are going to be experiences and
incentives.
Yeah.
So, okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. George. My dad was a big incentive in my getting a job. I remember that. And I'm going to have that phrase embroidered on a pillow. Work sounds too much like work. I like that. I like that. All right, Benjamin Drexler, come on up, Ben.
My grandparents from Georgia love the deer in my town. They're constantly oohing and awing over them, stopping their car and taking photos. What they don't know is that deer are deadly. They're the most dangerous animal in the United States, responsible for 440 deaths and 59,000 casualties every year. In my town, deer are as plentiful as flies. In just a few square miles, there are 250 of them, and therein lies the problem. It's just too many. In the state of Colorado, crashes result in $80 million in damages. And I talked with Kevin Madler, District Wildlife Manager, and he said that deer often get tangled in Christmas lights, kill pets, destroy landscaping, and cause many other property damages. To solve this problem, I propose that we simply reduce the deer population. We can do this in two ways. First, Buena Vista should hire hunters to tranquilize the deer and then process them. Then we would use the meat for local homeless people and other good causes in town. This would not only save lives, but also save us lots of money. My second solution to this problem is to have one day every year of open hunting within Buena Vista. This solution worked for Denver 5 years ago when they eliminated 2,000 ducks. To accomplish this, I would work with Colorado Parks and Wildlife because they could help legalize and hire and supervise our hunters. I would also work with our mayor, Libby Fay, and the Board of Trustees to legalize hunting within town limits. Also, Kevin Madler would be a great person to bridge the gap between the two opposing sides of this issue. And there would be many people that would be opposed to this, and that is why we would work with Chaffee County Times to accomplish this. My topic calls upon the civic virtues, respect, and responsibility. It is our responsibility to protect our town and the people in it from dangerous animals like deer. It is also not respectful to let deer die on a road. It also honors the founding principle, the right to acquire, protect, and possess property. I think the constitutional right to protect property does not only mean protecting it from dangerous animals or people, but also dangerous animals like deer. In conclusion, deer may be cute, but they are the most dangerous animal in Colorado, and I think we need to protect our town from them.
Very good. Benjamin, any questions for Benjamin? And to Wendy?
I can't help but ask this first question. Even if you were able to eliminate all of the town deer on that one day, how would you keep more deer from coming in?
We are not talking about eliminating all of the deer. We are actually just reducing their population to a safer and healthier amount. This would definitely make the deer population healthier.
Had you thought about, once the deer are killed and we want to distribute meat to the food pantries, how would we pay for processing the deer meat? Do you have any ideas?
Well, the tags on deer from the open day of hunting would definitely pay for that. And since this is and would be saving our town lots of money, I think we could use some tax money.
And finally, I'm curious if you think there are any issues about allowing hunting within town limits.
Yeah, we would work with Chaffee County Times to spread the word with all the people of BV, and the people of BV could take a day off and maybe just go to Crested View or Salida, or they could stay inside, and we would also make sure that these hunters would be correctly informed, and they would know to stay off of private property, and they would know what they were doing.
Very good. Any other questions for Ben? Very good. Benjamin, thank you so much. I'm going to look at deer a lot differently, aren't you? All right. Deer. All right, our last finalist, Zach Leon. Zach.
Okay. My name is Zachary Leon, and my topic is water conservation. Colorado is one of the top 10 dry states in our country. Now, this might sound outrageous, but if we overuse or dry out our aquifers, we might not get any fresh water from here ever again. The Colorado government has already started taking steps to help with this problem, but I have ideas for more. Water-saving appliances, specifically ones with WaterSense labels, are labeled directly by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, and are not only water efficient, but are also electricity efficient, and that could help with that. We could also teach the community about how to use their gray water more efficiently to save it and water their lawns and use it for other purposes. With xeriscaping, we could promote xeriscaping and collecting rainwater, promoting community pools over household pools, as well as getting the government to stop large companies from polluting our water and others, like Nestle, from taking it and selling it for profit. The civic virtue of courage means taking practical action against fear and danger in the community and doing what is right. The founding principle of consent and the governed/popular sovereignty means that the power comes from the people. This means that we should take action in order to protect this limited resource that we have access to currently. The First Amendment states we have the right to free speech and expression, so I think we should use that to help educate our people about how to use water more efficiently and effectively. People who implement xeriscaping or water-efficient plants could get discounts on property taxes or their water bill through the town or the county, and people that install water-saving appliances could get special rebates as a reward for doing so.
Now questions from the judges.
Zach, thank you for that. If you could create a new rule in your town, what would it be?
I think to standardize the water-saving appliances, like specifically the ones that I said before, the WaterSense labeled ones, and I think, I would have the town help give rewards out to people who chose to replace all of their stuff with the new, more efficient stuff.
Thank you.
I appreciate your topic a lot. Thank you, and I agree with you.
He's a water engineer, so he's not
Yes.
telling.
You obviously care deeply about this.
Yes.
Proposing rules and incentives, do you think that's enough alone? That rules and incentives on their own are enough to get people to care as much as you care?
I think that's a great start, and I think we could also host different meetings to educate people about all these different things and possibly even more ideas that we could come up with. And I think that in schools, we could also help teach students about it. So even if their parents aren't attending these educational meetings, they could bring home those ideas and share with their families.
Thank you.
All the questions? Very good. Thank you very much, Zach. Zach Leon. Our 5 finalists, one more time, a round of applause for all 5, plus our 9 finalists do a great job, great essays from each and every one of you. All right, each and every one of you. We're going to give some time for the...
Good afternoon. My name is Karen Dills, and
I was a teacher here for 25 years, and I think I see some former students here. I am the current president of the League of Women Voters of Chaffee County. We're the fourth largest league in the state of Colorado with about 140 members. Civics is important because it helps people understand their rights and responsibilities as citizens and how to be active participants in their community and country. It also teaches people about how government works. It's confusing. It teaches them the rights and responsibilities of citizens and the impact of government decisions on our society. These young people are being responsible participants in their community, helping it to become better from their point of view. They are learning how government can impact its citizens and how involvement of people with government representatives and staff can help shape those decisions. The future of these young people will be affected by decisions made today and the decisions they influence to help shape their future. Just because one is not yet old enough to vote does not mean they don't have the right to voice their opinions and give suggestions to government leaders. We have clean air in our parks because some young people from Boys and Girls Club went to the town council with a proposal to disallow smoking in town parks. Libby Fay, our mayor, alluded to a few other projects that have been brought to them by the youth of our community. The League of Women Voters is very proud to be one of these sponsors of these events. I'd like to give you a little history lesson here. The League of Women Voters was officially founded in Chicago in 1920, just 6 months before the ratification of the 19th Amendment. That's when women won the right to vote. This major milestone in the history of our democracy was achieved over decades, even beyond the lifetimes of some of its greatest champions. Passing an amendment to the Constitution is no small feat. It's only happened 27 times in our 250-year history. The League began as a mighty political experiment designed to help 20 million women carry out their new responsibilities as voters. Suffrage is the right to vote. The path to women's suffrage was complicated and sometimes ugly, kind of like some of today's politics. It is past time for our country to acknowledge that when the 19th Amendment was ratified, many women still weren't able to cast their ballots because of segregation laws that denied them their right. Famous photographs of suffrage marches and historic meetings often fail to catch many of the Black women who fought equally as courageously alongside the white women to win the vote. Even then, the news media didn't always show the full story. Let's be clear. Women won the right to vote. It was not given to us. It was a fight decades in the making. But the movement itself was not always aligned, just like today's political parties and unaffiliated voters are not aligned. There was a division as to how to accomplish the shared vision of gaining women the right to vote. Some were involved with demonstrations and arrests, jail, hunger strikes, violence outside the White House, and others implemented a lobbying and advocacy campaign to pass a constitutional amendment. The political strategy that ultimately resulted in the passage of the 19th Amendment was a shrewd state-by-state campaign by involved individuals who used to be kids, just like you. Ultimately, the tactic succeeded in building enough support to pass the 19th Amendment. Women won the right to vote, but not all women gained equal access at the ballot box. Poll taxes, where you needed to pay to vote, or literacy tests, where you had to prove that you could read, deliberately kept Black women and many African Americans from fully participating. Native Americans had sanctioned violence against them, denial of citizenship, and property requirements. Literacy tests were used to disenfranchise voters up until 1970. Men played a critical role not only in policymaking, but also as allies, standing in solidarity with women to foster equality and justice. In 1974, the League of Women Voters allowed men to join as full members. Previously, they were only associate members who had to pay higher dues. We need everyone to help our mission. That mission is to empower voters and defend democracy. Fast forward to 2013. The United States Supreme Court rolled back voter protections in the Voting Rights Act. And since that time, we've seen countless attacks on the right to vote. In the aftermath of that decision, we have seen rollbacks to early voting, unjust voter purges, strict voter ID laws that make it harder for young people, the elderly, those without a driver's license, people of color, and individuals with low incomes to register and exercise their right to vote. Today, right now, in our United States Senate, there is legislation called the SAVE Act. It would make it even harder to register to vote. Moving, changing party affiliation, updating your name, for example, all would require that Americans go in person to an election office with original or certified documentation of identity and citizenship. People in rural areas like ours, and those with disabilities or without reliable access to transportation, would find it more difficult to appear in person at election offices. These challenges are compounded by the fact that 20 million Americans do not have their passports or birth certificates readily available as acceptable documentation. So if I were a woman in Los Angeles who unfortunately recently had her house burned down and all of my papers, including my passport or my birth certificate, were burned, I would probably not be able to register to vote. Voting is a right that the League of Women Voters works on every day. Much of this information in my talk has come from other League of Women Voters, much smarter than me. Our local league does our best to help voters find out more about the issues and about candidates for whom they will be voting. We do this through forums and pamphlets. We recently had a forum for the hospital board where 60 people showed up. We had 6 candidates for 3 spots who are going to decide on how to spend your tax dollar in relation to the hospital. The League is nonpartisan, which means we never endorse candidates or political parties, and we only support issues that we have studied. There are many issues that we don't have a stand on because we have not studied them. We've had informational programs for our citizens on things like recycling, immigration, affordable housing, local mayors' forums, healthcare, senior services, and more. On May 8th, we were having the county commissioners up here in Buena Vista at the community center at 5 o'clock to help us understand about how decisions at the federal level may affect us here in Chaffee County and other issues that are before our commissioners. We invite you who are 16 and over to find out more and consider joining us by picking up a brochure at the front table. There you will also find a free book called The Book of Obligations. This is part of a project our league did with Colorado Mountain College, promoting civic responsibility and how to talk to those who may have a different opinion. I applaud you parents who raise children to be curious and to be caring. The league appreciates the time and effort these students and teachers have given to participating in our Civics Bee. Thank you to the volunteers and the chambers of commerce. Good luck to all of you. The league would like to present a small stipend now to participating teachers.